Hello everyone, you're watching RAM24.com channel, and today we are going to take apart Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus. First we need to remove the SIM card tray. To do this we use a special eject tool, insert it into the hole and push to pop the tray out. Next we need to heat the surface of the back cover to approximately 70 degrees Celsius or about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. We're using a heating mat for this, but a hair dryer will work as well. After about 10 minutes, we can move on to removing the back cover. To separate the back cover, we use a thin plastic film. Carefully insert it into the gap between the back cover and the mid-frame and slide it along the edge, cutting through the adhesive. As always, be especially careful around the camera area, so you don't accidentally touch or damage the lenses. Also be cautious near the side buttons. Don't push the tool in too deep, since we don't know exactly what is located underneath the back cover. There could be flex cables. So we carefully work our way around the edges. Don't rush and don't use excessive force to avoid damaging the cover. And the area around the cameras may have extra adhesive. Once we separate the remaining adhesive holding the back cover, we can gently lift it off. As we can see, there are no components attached to the back cover. Next, it is best to cover the camera lenses. We use a protective film for this. Please note that the film should be applied around the lens's rim, not directly onto the lenses themselves. And now we move on to removing the screws. For this we use a 1.5mm Phillips screwdriver, Phillips #30. Also note that we leave one screw in the upper section. It will hold the cameras in place so they don't move around. After that we disconnect the connectors on the NFC and wireless charging module and remove the cover. Then, using a non-metal tool, we disconnect the battery connector, disconnect the flex cable for the side buttons, and move to the lower section. In the lower section, we also remove the screws using a Phillips #30 screwdriver. It is best to keep these screws separate from the previous ones, as they may be different. If the screws are difficult to remove or get stuck, we can use a magnetizer or tweezers. Now we can carefully pry up and remove the lower cover. The cover includes the speaker and the antenna traces. Next we disconnect the connectors, the display flex cable and the interconnect flex cables. We also disconnect connectors on the motherboard. Please note that the interconnect cables have arrows indicating the direction toward the motherboard. We remove the last flex cable and then proceed to remove the 3 screws holding the subboard. Again, it is best to keep these screws separate as they may be shorter and smaller. We remove the third and final screw, and it is important to remember their correct position. Now we can take out the subboard, which is slightly recessed. Carefully pry it up and remove it. The subboard includes the charging port, microphone, and the SIM card connector on the back side. Now for our traditional quick test of the microphone opening. The microphone hole is located in the display frame and has an L shape On the inside there is a protective gasket and membrane. The microphone itself is mounted on the back side of the subboard. If we insert something into the microphone hole, we won't damage the microphone this way. Next, we move on to the motherboard. We remove the screws in the upper section that hold the cover with the speaker. Carefully unscrew them and keep them separate from the others. If the screws get stuck or are hard to remove, use tweezers. Now disconnect any connectors that may get in the way, including the speaker connector. Carefully pry from the edge to remove the upper cover with antenna traces and the speaker. Next, we disconnect the front camera connector. We were asked not to remove the front camera itself. Now we can remove the final screw that holds the rear cameras in place. After that, we can remove the motherboard. Carefully pry it up from the correct spot, making sure nothing is obstructing it, and lift it out. Then we flip the motherboard over, disconnect the connectors and set the rear cameras aside. As we can see, there is a dual camera module and one separate rear camera. What remains at the top is the vibration motor and the front camera. As for the microphone opening at the top, the situation is the same. It has an L shape and the microphone itself is located on the back side of the motherboard. Inserting anything into the microphone hole will not damage the microphone. Of course, the opening is also protected by a membrane. And that completes the disassembly. Thank you for watching and we will see you in our next videos, either on our Telegram channel or on our website.